In the words of the great philosopher Rizal, the youth is the hope of the future. He had so much faith in the young people, he believed they would all succeed in every facet of life. But in the eyes of today's society, the youth seems to be showing the opposite. What the philosopher claimed to be the hope is apparently a part now of the social problem. Naenae is a suburb in Wellington, New Zealand, and is known for its youth problem: graffiti, gangs, and other youth ordeals. But others argue that this is only a misconception, and the young people of Naenae is just a victim of stereotyping. So the question now, is there really a youth problem in Naenae? And if there is, how could we resolve this? I asked people from all walks of life to share their thoughts and opinions. Let's listen to their insights. Do you think there is a youth problem in Naenae?
Good question. No, I don't think there's a problem. I think there's a lot of young people and not enough to do, really. And I think that's why we have some youth crime happening and what seems to be kids hanging around in the centre and seemingly not doing what older people in Naenae expect of them or looking like a problem, but really I just think it's a lack of things to do, yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
And why do you guys think so?
Because too many kids have been up to mischief, fighting, and graffiti, smoking, and look how young they are smoking.
There's been examples of it. Fights, not just any fight, in group, on the basketball courts. Not quite a good thing going on.
Personally, I don't think there is. I think it's not the youth, it's more of the people that are in the house that they live in. It's the influence. Because I know quite a few people in Naenae, and they're actually very talented, they speak their mind, and I guess it's the expectation of the society from them as well.
I absolutely do think there is a youth problem in Naenae. I think many young people want to be the leader, want to be in control, and that can cause a lot of things like fighting.
Actually, I don't. I think there's a youth opportunity in Naenae, and I think that we have a really big chance and a big responsibility to make sure this doesn't become a youth problem, and we use it as an opportunity.
I just think with half the things that are going on now with like the fights and stuff, it's basically just like mucking around and stuff, and yeah, we do see some tagging around, but we're basically all just friends and stuff, so I don't think there's a problem at all.
I believe there was a youth problem in Naenae. When we first came here, the cops were telling us about the crime rate and the graffiti problems and bashing up over near the railway station. There's issues there, and around the streets there's problems, and gang problems with girls and guys. Girls beating boys up as well, taking their phones off them and all sorts. Yeah, we heard all about that, but I grew up here, so I'm quite capable of understanding the situations here. But it really needed what I had when I was a kid. It needed a boxing club, and that's where this started. What worked for me when I was a kid still works. I think it's every generation has them. I mean, I've got a thing that referred right back to Napoleon Bonaparte, how he raved about how disobedient children were and no respect for their parents. And Aristotle made some comments on the same thing hundreds of years ago. And I think the same thing goes today, only we've got more traps with violence, porn, gambling, TV, videos, access to everything your imagination is out there. Can lead you astray, even the best of them.
I don't think there's a youth problem. I think there's a boredom problem in Naenae. I think there's the only problem, there's a problem in perception that youth, because youth are causing problems, but that's because they're bored and they're not being engaged in the way they need to be.
I think that the underlying problem isn't because of the youth. I think it's because of how the youth are influenced, how they are portrayed, and how they are supported by society. The biggest influencers in our lives are our parents, and I think that because our parents have a big influence on us, these kids, they see the wrong things in the world. And when you ask a person that what they think of Naenae is, they say danger. It's true that there are petty crimes in Naenae, but it's the same with most of the cities in the Hutt Valley. So there isn't like a big difference. I think it's just because of all the rumors and all the things that people say that make it such a bad place to be in. And the last thing is because these kids aren't supported enough, supported by their friends, supported by their school, if they even have the ability to go to school, and they stray away from what the right thing to do for society.
Well, I think generally as older people and adults should realise that because that this thing is happening, that there's this perception that youth are acting out and they're doing things that they shouldn't. The alarm bell should be going off that they're not being engaged in the way they need to be, and maybe they need to research how they want to be engaged with and then do that.
We could solve it by taking them to
youth
and Nana Boxing Academy and them playing sports, and they should come here.
Show them something that will keep their mind off the
mischief stuff.
And like
think of the good part of the world.
Like the parents, because they should be like kind of more strict about their children.
Being up to mischief.
Not too mischief. They should know what their children is being doing 24/7.
I think that we can give youth the opportunities to make the most of themselves and to give them the chance to be themselves and to grow. Things like Clubhouse are amazing for letting the kids develop themselves without us putting our slant on it, you know, like we don't know them, we're not them, but they're very different to me, and I was in their day, so yeah, I think we need to give them the chance to grow rather than giving them things to do as such, and to direct them.
It's pretty much up to them and their choice if they want to change their life. And if they stick with positive people, it will help them in the long term, and it also has to do with their mindset and how they think.
If you keep people really busy and you give them a dream, they'll self-discipline themselves just like I learnt to do. And I learnt to say, I don't want to touch alcohol. I grew up with a lot of that, so I've never touched this stuff. I've never gone there, I've never touched drugs. And I've done my best to do as good as I can do because I had a coach that wanted me to be as good as I could be. And that was, everything comes down to a coach. If you're lucky enough to have a mum and dad and a nana and a granddad, well, that's fantastic. But a lot of these kids don't have that, and so they haven't got anyone to pull them into line. So we've got a lot of, you know, sort of support within the area here. We're not on our own, you know. And by doing that, it's not a one-man band. My whole family is involved. We've got some of the boxes end up by staying the night here, and sometimes ends up by staying a couple of years here. We've got one that's been here for the last 18 months that's living with us. So the ones that we can help like that we do. Sometimes we place them onto someone else that wants to take hold of them. But we've pretty well got ears for anyone. But nobody's mate, you know, we hear all the stories and all the bull and it's sorting out what's true and what's not true. But we're here to help, that's the goal. But behind every young boy there's a young man. And if you can turn him into the warrior that he would like to be, in his own world, he's a warrior.
Well, I think council could be providing more facilities. There is a basketball court, and we have clubhouse, and we have a boxing gym. They're not all accessible to everyone. So, you know, if we had a skate park, a lot of people are into skateboarding. If there was a hangout space where young people could go, you know, a health service or mental health or sexual health, those kind of things. And also, you know, like feeding kids after school, I think that would be really useful. And so that I guess, becomes the responsibility of either council or local organisations that are working in Naenae with young people, like church groups or external youth groups. So, yeah.
It is very fascinating to hear different views. Some agree there is, and some stated otherwise. But whether this is a fact or a misconception, the bottom line of this issue is that our young people need guidance, understanding, love, and support, not judgment. Because at the end of the day, they're just like us, who's still figuring things out. And who knows, they may be indeed the hope of the future.